Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm 𝗖𝗽𝗶𝘁 Biniaz, co-CEO of CPI. I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, partner, 𝗖𝗽𝗶 Benesocky, co-CEO of CPI. Welcome, Ava.
Thank you, August. Hi everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. We are privileged to be joined by our guest, Dr. Nejla Tidjane. Dr. Tidjane is an orthopedic surgeon. She also holds a master degree and PhD in molecular and integrative physiology. She was the founder and vice president of Future Medic Canada, Inc., and the founder of 𝗖𝗣𝗜 Cosmetics, which she's currently developing.
And we'll discuss that in pretty quick here.
Totally.
Okay.
Maybe before starting our show, allow us to tell you a bit about what we do here at CPI.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Go ahead,
We're going to quickly go over what we're up to. Here at Canadian Passive Investing, we partner with investors to buy US multifamily assets. What does that mean for our investor partners? It means that we have developed the most inclusive platform in North America, which allows the servicing of non-accredited investors with a minimum $10,000 investment.
$10,000 investment.
Now imagine partnering alongside us to be an owner of an asset worth tens of millions of dollars. I'm stuttering today.
Well, that sounds pretty awesome.
It does sound good?
It sounds pretty awesome. So let us show you how.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys go to...
no, definitely. So why don't you go to tokenfunder.com. That's TOKENFUNDER.com or visit our website, CanadianPassiveInvesting.com, to learn more about how to partner with us and be owner of a asset worth tens of millions of dollars.
And make incredible cash flow, might I add.
Absolutely.
And you know what, to add to that, August, I would like to bring attention to something else that we do totally different and what sets us apart from other groups that are currently active in Canada. And that is educating our partners. So how do we do that? We bring on experts to discuss many different aspects to real estate investing. We're currently creating a course on Udemy that will be available to our investor partners shortly. Sorry. We have a bi-monthly newsletter that has lots of great content. And to add to that, we are unlike other CEOs who are harder to get a hold of than God himself. We are just a phone call away.
Just a phone call away. Our phone number is available online. If you need to get in touch with us, go ahead and give us a call. If you have a question, don't hesitate.
We're here to support you. So why don't we get to the exciting part and introduce our beautiful guest?
Absolutely. Just before that, if you have any questions, please write in the Q&A box, and we'll spend some time at the end of the show to answer all your questions. I'm sure people will have questions for us and Dr. Tidjane. Okay, welcome.
Dr. Tidjane.
Welcome, Dr. Tidjane.
Hi, thank you guys. Good afternoon, and thank you for having me today.
Awesome. It is afternoon in Montreal time.
That's right.
Dr. Tidjane is in Montreal time, so that's awesome. Yeah.
We're so happy to have you.
Thank you.
Nejla, you are a mom, you're an orthopedic surgeon, a researcher, and an entrepreneur. Could you tell us a bit about your start in medicine and what drove you to become a doctor?
Yeah, always great to hear that. Yeah, please go ahead. Sorry to jump in here.
Actually, it's pretty easy to explain in my case because I knew I would be a doctor as young as 5 years old. Huh?
Wow. So,
despite the fact I had some role models in the family, I always perceived sickness as an injustice. And who likes injustice? Nobody. So
yes.
We all hate injustice.
Yes.
And there is also quite a sad story behind. It's when I was at school in the first grade, I had a friend named 𝗖𝗽𝗶𝘁.
Mm-hmm.
He was the sweetest guy in the classroom, and I knew there was something wrong with him. I think he was suffering from a kind of degenerative disease.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when we went back from the summer vacation, his seat was empty. And I was waiting for him to come back. I remember hearing our teacher pronouncing the word death, and she was saying that he died. I didn't know what that meant at that time, and I just realized that I would no longer see him. And I think it was the beginning of a long motivational list.
Got it. No, the great story, and you know that mindset that you mentioned where being a doctor is being sick kind of is an injustice. That's an incredible way of looking at it. So I really appreciate that mindset and that viewpoint.
Now, as a woman, I'm frankly proud to see a woman performing surgery. Could you tell us about what interested you in becoming a surgeon?
Yes.
I have to say, first of all, that the titles you mentioned don't define. So if there is a message I can send to everyone on the platform, is that don't let any title define you. Okay? So and to answer your question, it was my love for art. I'm a very handy person. I like cooking, I like do activities with my daughter, I like fixing things at home.
Okay, cool. You're a handy woman, I guess. I've never heard that expression, but a handy woman, that's great.
But I don't beat my husband, okay? and I knew, and as you know, surgery is nothing than an art, the art of healing.
Yes, very true.
Actually, it's wonderful to be a woman surgeon. But you have to know that the path is really difficult, especially in some parts of the world. In my case, for example, coming from Algeria, just to have your name on the program, which is a basic right as a resident, was a daily battle with my fellow males, particularly in the field of orthopedics, because there is a stupid belief that it's a matter of strength. But in reality, there is nothing to do with strength or with you being a dwarf or tall or transgender or strong, but it definitely depends on how you master a technique for X procedure. And what I like the most about surgery is the mental concentration and endurance you learn during your career. You can't let your mind wander during surgery, no matter how long is the procedure. And concentration for surgeons is as important as for athletes. And of course, there is a very important point that make all the difference. It's the leadership that comes to you naturally. As a surgeon, you are the leader in the operating room. You're the captain. Yes. And the results depends on the quality of your leadership. So the greatest is the leadership, and the better is the outcome for the patient.
Absolutely, very well said, and it's precisely that leadership skills that we noticed in you from day one. We've known each other for a while, but talking to Ava and seeing the need that people in the medical field have for investing, we knew that bringing you on, you were going to bring that experience and that leadership to our platform, and it's great. No, definitely, and quickly here. That's exactly precisely why we've brought on Dr. Tidjane on our board of advisors. She brings her skills as a surgeon, as a researcher to CPI, advising us on all aspects of business, such as the need for checklists. There's actually a checklist when involved in surgery and medicine. They're life and death. So when you bring that onto business, it really helps. Absolutely. And she will be spearheading our marketing to medical professionals as she sees the need doctors have to become passive investors and be able to fully focus on their craft. And we'll discuss this in a moment.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
We love, Nejla, that you have this entrepreneurial background. You're a team player. You're willing to learn and teach others, as we love to teach. And it's important for us to surround ourselves with like-minded people who can bring our team at CPI experience and knowledge. So I kind of love that we're creating a dream team over here.
Absolutely. No, definitely.
So I kind of want to switch gears now, Dr. Tidjane. Aside from you being a surgeon, a researcher, and a mother, you're an entrepreneur at heart. August and I always discuss this. Being an entrepreneur is not something we believe can be taught. Mm-hmm. I think you're born with it.
Yes, that drive to be an entrepreneur, definitely.
Definitely, Eva and August. Actually, it's trait. You have it or not. Mm-hmm. And actually, if you're not willing to fail, you will never accomplish anything.
Well said.
So entrepreneurship goes with fail.
Yes, That's
And
very
speaking of which, you're currently in the process of developing your next venture, 𝗖𝗽𝗓 Cosmetics.
that Ava is very happy about because
so
she's
excited.
already called dibs on the first production.
Like
product.
literally everything in the whole thing. I'll test it out for you.
Yeah,
you know?
she'll be your.
Don't worry.
Awesome.
So exciting.
Yeah, so maybe
Maybe tell us a little bit more about your line.
Yeah.
Tell us about this.
tell us about what interests you from it. And this is kind of I'm sure people watching want to kind of see that connection between medicine and being an entrepreneur, and kind of about your journey and how what kind of interests you to be a businesswoman, an entrepreneur, and also helping us. But
So
please
impressive.
go ahead.
The time we're living in is really difficult, and you need to to diversify your income.
Yes.
You don't rely on one income. This is dangerous,
Very true.
especially now. To respond to your question for
Yes.
𝗖𝗽𝗓 Cosmetics, I named it after my mom. My mom's name is 𝗖𝗽𝗓.
Oh wow, God bless.
And it's as we say in French, un hommage pour ma mère. And there is a story also behind that.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
We've heard this one
story.
before, but please go ahead for our viewers. This is
Angela
a
has
fun.
the best story.
Yeah, this is a good one. So please go ahead.
So this happened when I was a junior resident in Algeria. I was struggling to get into the OR in the emergency department, and once I was in charge, and one of my senior colleagues told me during an argument, because I was always having arguments with them to get into the OR, and he told me that I should consider a career in the makeup industry instead of open your ears, please, wasting my time in a world made for strong males.
He messed around with the wrong girl.
He messed around with the wrong girl.
So I took his advice seriously, and so I became a surgeon. And now I am about sending him some samples on his birthday. So yes, you will have samples.
He has to do it and take some
awesome.
pictures with some lipstick and send it back. So because
Good
just
for
because
you.
I
that's
don't think he will like it.
he's eating his words now.
Yeah,
so
good for you. That's a great
no,
story.
great story,
Angela.
definitely.
Now, this is we all want to know what interested you on coming on board with CPI.
How did August manage to convince you to come? What she means, but no, please, I'm just joking. But yeah, please let us know what interests you to coming on board and assisting us and helping us build this company and especially our educational platform.
Yeah.
You want the truth?
Yes.
Well, almost the truth. Give almost the truth, okay? Don't talk about the bribing I've done to you. No, don't talk about the bribe.
I'm not anti-person, and I always say the truth.
Yes.
So first of all, it was our friendship.
I appreciate
So
it.
August and I have known each other for a while, and I noticed he was very successful in his company, and he was serious, and that he was providing also an educational approach to his investors and partners, which doesn't exist here in Canada. It does exist in the US, but here in Canada, nobody does it. I got connected with him, and I was frankly very intrigued by the services the company he was working was offering. He mentioned to me that many doctors and other busy professionals are in contact with his company.
Yes, no, for sure. And for me, just to touch on that a bit here is in the U.S. I mean, you got this superpower country. It's very business friendly. Over 300 million people population there, and the world of real estate investing is totally different. So what we noticed is a lot of doctors were contacting us. We're connecting with a lot of doctors. And they were looking for alternative investment vehicles to invest in. So they've already invested in, real estate. They've invested in secondary real estate, but they didn't want to be active investors. They didn't want to go out there constructing product or renovating. They rather be passive. And this concept, unfortunately, doesn't really exist here in Canada. There are alternative investment vehicles such as mortgage investment corporations or REITs, but the type of returns are very minimal and the involvement level is very low. Somebody invests and they kind of forget about that investment, whereas the apartment syndication process, gets them more involved. There's lots of information going out so they can see the progress that we have. But what we noticed, again, getting back to my story here, is in the US, this was very common.
Yes.
This was a very common item where many people in the medical profession, doctors, they started their own educational platform, and they would educate other doctors about the field, about the concept of apartment syndication or passively investing in real estate. It was a very normal occurrence. Ava knows someone, Buck Joffrey. He helps many doctors in the US invest in the apartment syndication process. Another doctor, Dr. Cherry Chen, she's also very well known. She has the real estate physician. So there's all these platforms in the US, which these doctor professionals who have some knowledge about real estate and who have a thought leadership platform teach other doctors how to invest and also direct them to the right place to make the investment. But such platform didn't exist here in Canada.
Because it's so foreign, our concept of what we're doing. The numbers don't make sense in Canadian real estate. So now that we've created a system where we can partner with Canadians to now have that same system that they have or invest in the same platform that that the cash flow is in the US.
Yes.
We wanted to bring on a Canadian doctor to educate others.
Yeah, and it's a long-term plan, and we've spoken to Dr. Tidjane about this for a long time. This is not something that's overnight. It's a process, but when you have someone, I think there was a funny joke that happened, a funny situation that happened with our internal group, and I was sending some content to Dr. Tidjane to have a read, and then I was advised, just send her an audiobook. Audiobook, and I'm like, listen, somebody with her credentials, they don't do audiobooks. These people have read hundreds, if not thousands of books. So she probably has a system for reading books. And
I actually bet you $100.
Yeah,
I said, I bet you $100 she's going to want an
Sam,
audible version of this. Sure enough, I was wrong. I paid you $100. She wanted the book, and she's like, I'll read this in 24 hours.
Yeah, we were it took me 3 months to read the book, and she's like, oh yeah, I don't have time today. I'll read it tomorrow. I'm like, what do you mean that tomorrow? She's like, yeah, I'll finish it.
24 hours, no big deal. We got.
So it's incredible, and that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, bringing somebody who's an expert in one field and has done so well and has that entrepreneurial spirit to now come into our field. And this is early stages, and we're going to be.
Sorry to interrupt,
Absolutely.
but she sees the amazingness that our company offers. So she's excited to kind of spread the word.
Yes.
So to help others.
And maybe you can tell us about your, Dr. Tidjane, tell us about your interest, particularly in real estate and real estate investing, if you may, please.
In passive investing.
Yes, in passive investing, exactly.
So because as doctors in general are busy professionals, and most of the time they are not happy about their investments. We talked about that many times, and especially when it comes to real estate. As a doctor, being an active investor takes time and experience. If there was a platform allowed for doctors to be passive investors, it would be perfect. Right here,
we got the platform.
So maybe, and this is exactly what has interested me in partnering with CPI and help build and grow the company.
I really appreciate that. We look forward to it. Please, if you're watching this, keep in touch. Follow Dr. Tidjane on LinkedIn. And we'll post that in the comments of this section and we'll send it to everybody who attended. The link to Dr. Tidjane's LinkedIn profile. So keep in touch with her, watch her as she grows with us, and help us build this company. Bring her experience and her background into helping us build our thought leadership platform. And if you are if you're involved in medicine, if you are a doctor, especially if you're a Canadian doctor, please keep in touch with Dr. Tidjane as she will be spearheading our thought leadership platform and as our board of advisors into assisting doctors and other medical professionals to invest in real estate passively and partner with us on our next deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was that good? That was great. We really appreciate you coming on. Thanks for taking the time. We know your schedule is very busy, and we look forward to have you on again. So our followers can see as you progress and help us build this idea, this company,
and educate.
We
love it.
And don't forget to send Ava
all the products.
All the products as soon as it becomes available.
December. Don't worry, we will get them in December. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very much.
Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Have a nice weekend.
Thank you. Thanks for everybody. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
And have a great weekend. And see you guys on the next show.
See you on the next show.
Bye-bye.